to this lecture video. In this video, I am going to explain lasers which comes under module number 4 of engineering physics prescribed by VTU. So now let us go to the topics. So content of this video is interaction of radiation with matter, conditions for laser action and requisites of laser system. So these were all the contents. Now let us first discuss what is laser and what is the interaction of radiation with matter. When we come to the laser, so laser is the acronym for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So it is a short form taken into account. So the expansion form is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So light amplification is going to happen here by stimulated emission of radiation. The production of laser is a consequence of interaction of radiation with matter. So there are three types of interaction going to happen when radiation interact with matter. The first one is induced absorption, second one spontaneous emission, and the third one is stimulated emission. Now what is induced absorption? Now let us look at what is induced absorption here. Now consider two energy levels of an atomic system. So let E1 be the ground state energy, E2 be the excited state energy. Now let us consider the atom is in the ground state, that is at energy level E1. Now consider a photon of energy difference, that is E2 minus E1, that is equal to delta E, is falling upon the atom. Then the atom absorbs the incident photon and gets excited to E2 level. So after the absorption of photon, the atom which is at ground state reaches the excited state as shown in the picture. And the phenomenon is known as induced absorption. So here the atom absorbs the incident photon of energy difference E2 minus E1 and go to excited state. So this is what the phenomenon of induced absorption. The second one is spontaneous emission. So here the atom which is already at the excited state, that is E2 level, then it will voluntarily comes down to ground state by emitting a photon. So that's what you can see in the picture number 2. So the atom which is at excited state comes down to ground state by emitting a photon. This phenomenon is known as spontaneous emission. So here the atom voluntarily comes down to ground state by emitting a photon of energy difference E2 minus E1. And this phenomenon is known as spontaneous emission. Next one is stimulated emission. So here the atom which is at excited state E2, by looking at the incident photon or approaching photon of energy difference E2 minus E1, the atom gets stimulated and comes down to ground state by emitting another photon, of wavelength that is similar to that of approaching photon. Here the energy of the emitted photon will be E2 minus E1. So in addition to the incident photon, the atom emits one more photon. So the two photons are coming out of this process. These two photons are observed to be coherent in nature. They are similar with all respect, that is with respect to wavelength, and were all with the same phase and were all traveling in a same direction. So this is what the phenomenon of stimulated emission. So the atom voluntarily comes down in the spontaneous emission, but here by the stimulation of incident photon, the atom comes down to ground state. That's why it is considered as stimulated emission. So there are two conditions for laser action, that is metastable state and one more is population inversion. So in order to achieve laser out of a system, the system should have a metastable state and hence we can able to achieve population inversion. What is metastable state? Usually when an atom excited, it will stay in the excited state for a smaller duration of a time for of about say 10 to the power of minus 8 seconds. If that is the case, the atom immediately comes back to ground state. Then we cannot able to achieve the population inversion. Let us consider N1 and N1 be the number of atoms which are at ground state and N2 be the number of atoms in the excited state. So usually the value of N1 will be greater than N2. In order to achieve population inversion, that is N2 greater than N1, we need a metastable state where the atom can stay for a longer duration of time, that is of about 10 to the power of minus 2 to 10 to the power of minus 3 seconds. If that is the case, we can increase the number of atoms in the excited state. So that's why a system should have metastable state in order to achieve laser action. So population inversion is the process of making the number of atoms in the excited state greater than those atoms in the ground state. The process of making N2 greater than N1 is known as population inversion. In order to achieve population inversion, the system should have a metastable state. So this is what the meaning of population inversion. What are the requisites of laser system? So what are the requirements? There are three requirements. One is active media, that is a material medium in which the population inversion and hence the lasing action can be achieved is known as active medium. So we come across different active media for the production of laser. One is helium neon laser and CO2 laser and also ruby laser, semiconductor laser. So these are all considered as active media. So where the active media supports metastable state and hence we can achieve population inversion. And the second requirement is pumping or energy source. So in order to produce laser, we need to supply energy to the atoms in the active media. That will be done by various methods. One is electrical pumping, by pumping high energetic electrons into the active media, and also we can pump energy by means of photons. So high energetic photons are allowed to fall upon the active media. So there are different types of energy pumping is going to be happening here. That is optical pumping. So we are going to supply photons here. Second one is electrical pumping. And the third one is heat pumping or thermal energy. And the fourth one is chemical pumping or chemical energy is going to be supplied to the active media. So these were all the types of energy supplied to the active media. The third requirement is optical resonant cavity. So optical resonant cavity consists of two mirrors facing each other. One is completely silvered and the other one is partly silvered. So here the light is bounced back and forth. So active media is kept between the mirrors here and hence we can able to achieve laser action. So this is what the meaning of optical resonant cavity. So it consists of two mirrors facing each other. One is fully silvered and the other one is partly silvered, and between these two mirrors the active media is kept for producing lasers. So here is a problem. Find the ratio of populations of two energy levels in a laser if the transition between them produces light of wavelength 6493 angstrom, assuming the ambient temperature as 27 degrees centigrade. So the value of lambda is 6493 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, and T is 300 Kelvin and H is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules second, and K is 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 23 joules per Kelvin, and the velocity of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So what is the value of N2 by N1? We know that N2 by N1 is equal to e to the power of minus hc by lambda kt. Substitute the value of h, c, lambda, k and t. On simplification, the value of N2 by N1 will be 7.33 into 10 to the power of minus 33. So this is what the solution for the given problem. Second problem, a helium neon gas laser is emitting a laser beam with an average power of 4.5 milliwatts Find the number of photons emitted per second by the laser. The wavelength of the emitted radiation is 6328 angstrom. So power is 4.8 milliwatts, T is 1 second, C is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, and H is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. The lambda is given as 6328 angstrom. So we know that E is equal to P into T, and further E is equal to N into Hc by lambda. Therefore N is equal to lambda Pt by Hc. So number of photons emitted is lambda Pt by Hc. So substitute the value of lambda Pt and H and C. On simplification, the value of N will be 1.432 into 10 to the power of 16 photons. So this will be the number of photons emitted per second. The ratio of population of two energy levels, out of which one corresponds to metastable state, is 1.059 into 10 to the power of minus 30. Find the wavelength of light emitted at 330 Kelvin. So here N2 by N1 is equal to 1.059 into 10 to the power of minus 30, and T is 330 Kelvin, and H is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second, and K is 1.38 into 10 to the power of minus 23 joules per Kelvin, and C is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So we know that N2 by N1 is equal to E to the power of minus Hc by lambda Kt. On simplification, the lambda will be written as minus Hc by ln of N2 by N1 into Kt. Substituting the values of Hc, N2 by N1 and K and T here, and on simplification the value of lambda is 6.328 into 10 to the power of minus 7 meter. So this is what the solution for the given problem. Thank you.